Okay, guys, what's going on? So, in the last video I posted, there were a couple comments and questions about the Hindle Full System for the Yamaha R3. I'm going to take this time to go over my whole experience with installing it and kind of my thoughts on the product. So, first of all, it is not quiet. The system is really loud, but that's what I wanted. I wanted to change the tone of my exhaust and really make it punch. For such a tiny bike, the grunt that it gets, the sound's amazing. I love it. That being said, it can kind of be a little obnoxious sometimes, but they do sell a dB killer, which drops the volume of the exhaust to a much more reasonable level and still kind of keeps that tone and grunt that you get from it, but it's got an amazing sound. If you can hear it, really nice pops as well. Installation, there's a great video on Sports Bike Track Gear to follow about installing the exhaust. Really well put together, no problems installing it, everything fit. There was one bolt, I think, in the packaging that was wrong. It was too short to connect the, the tail canister to the mounting point on the bike, but you can take the one off your stock system. That's what I did, and it fit. Once I had the pipe on, and this is going to be kind of caution to any pipe, not just this system that's on my bike, is you will need to have some kind of tune or fuel control set up for your bike, because I put it on. I spoke with the techs at Hindle. I think they're out in Port Perry. I'm in Toronto, so they weren't that far either. But they said that it would be fine to run on a stock ECU. It ran, it didn't run well, and it ran actually very poorly. That at around 6K, there was the bike would lean out, and there was a huge power drop, and then it would spike up again at around 7,000 or 8,000 RPMs, and it was just a pain in the ass to ride. So what I did was I purchased a Power Commander 5, installed it myself too. That is a little more of a undertaking when you want to go install that, just because there's a lot more that goes into it. You got to take the tank off. Everything, kind of the tolerances with how everything fits with the Power Commander and the wiring harness is really tight. And for those of you that don't know what a Power Commander is, a Power Commander is a kind of a second computer or a second ECU that sits in between your stock ECU and fuel injectors, so you can make adjustments to your air-fuel ratio through that, instead of having to flash your ECU or mess around with the stock ECU on the bike and void any warranties that you might have on it. So did that, and Power Commander has maps that you can download off their site in order to make the pipe and the bike and your tune kind of all play nicely together. There is no map specifically on their website for the Hindle system. There's one for a M4, a Two Brothers exhaust, the stock R3 system, and I believe in Acra pipe. And I tried all four of those, and it didn't help the lean issue on the bike at all. I reached out to Hindle, and the tech there sent me one of his maps. Same thing. Didn't really help, so I ended up resorting to taking it to get a dyno tune, and after the dyno tune, the bike ran perfect, really smoothed out the power band and kind of throttle response. And actually with the Power Commander, you can go in and shorten your throttle response to make it a little twitchier, so you don't have to, you know, grab a whole wrist of throttle to have full throttle. That you can just kind of twist a little bit, and the bike really feels like it's got a lot more get up and go when you do that. So that being said, after the dyno tune, I think before the bike stock made around 30 horsepower or 32 horsepower, and after the dyno tune, it made 38. So you're not putting this pipe on your system for any crazy horsepower gains. It's not going to make anything, it's not going to turn this into a sports bike or like a big 600 class sports bike. It's just going to kind of, you know, change up the tone of your exhaust, make it sound a lot more nasty than it actually is. But I put it on. I've had it on now for 2 years, and really enjoyed it. That I think it's for the price, you can't beat it for a full system. That in comparison to some of the other pipes, like an Akrapovic pipe or a Yoshimura pipe, I think this came in for the full system at just under $700, or right at the $700 mark. So really affordable, and it kind of fits with what an R3 is, right? It's a beginner sports bike. The look of it's great, nice and sleek, and also a lot lighter too than the stock system. But just be forewarned, you will need a tune and have to go through the proper steps to make sure that the bike runs smoothly once you have the system on. So I think that's about it with it, really. I've really enjoyed it. If you have any questions, same thing, leave them down in the comments. And I have some more videos hopefully coming out with a new toy that I'm about to purchase.